So we're here with Eva Pieczak, who is talking about money and why we're not getting enough of it. Some people and others are getting loads, and why when some people have money, they lose it. So we're going to go through that. But first, Eva, just tell us about yourself. You're a success coach. What does that mean, or what do you do?
Well, I actually tend to say that I help people make more money doing what they love. So whether this is make more money, whether this is going into the career that they love, or setting up their own business, or making more money doing what they love. So actually combining the two. And I am a success coach, and I've been trained and mentored by Bob Proctor. And it's been about 2 years since I've been working with him and helping lots of people, mostly to set up businesses or to make a lot more money within their business right now.
And for some people that might not know who Bob Proctor is.
Sure. So Bob Proctor, actually some of you may know him from the book or the movie The Secret. It was very popular, especially in 2006, 2007. And so he was one of the main stars of The Secret. And for those of you that don't know him, he's one of the top success teachers and mentors globally. He's 81. And he's also very well known within multiple streams of income, which is the best way to make money.
Yes, and reduce the risk, I suppose, if you've all your one business, it can be very risky. And so what involved training with him? Did you do loads of courses?
So I, at the beginning of 2014, I simply made a decision that I want to help people unleash their potential. And I've done it for myself for a while before, and that was my decision that I want to train with the best. Now, Bob is, in my humble opinion, the best. Mm-hmm. and I decided that I want to coach and I want to make good income with it. So I wanted to get out of my full-time employment in finance. And literally the week after, I received an email from Proctor Gallagher Institute that Bob is training his consultants. So it took 1 year of online qualification, certification program. But on top of that, I just went full on with the training, and I said to myself that I'm going to train face-to-face with him. So since May 2014, I've been in Toronto 6 times, training with Bob for a week each time. So I've been training quite closely with him. Quite a lot, and I'm going again next month as well.
Okay, nice. So when you've got clients, is it one-to-one you do it, or do you do seminars, or what do you do?
I do several things actually. So the main course that I teach people with, that I coach people around, is Thinking into Results, and most of my coaching happens in groups. I have several individual clients, and actually I've been doing live events as well. Now, most of those live events have been for free. I've done 4 in 2015, and I have more upcoming this month. I have 2 events coming up, one in Dublin on the 16th of January and one in Cork on the 30th of January.
And how do people find out how to book for the course?
I will tweet that later.
You will tweet it later. And by the way, Eva's he's just joined Twitter today. First time on Twitter today, even though she's well in with Facebook and other media, but Twitter today. So we want to get a lot of followers.
10 at the moment.
10 followers. We want that up to 30 by this evening. So if you can follow Eva and
so it's Abundant Results, at Abundant Results.
At Abundant
Results.
Yeah. At Abundant Results. Or Eva, it might come up as Eva, but at Abundant.
My full name would come up, but that's quite.
But that's.
tricky
I think it's easier to say at Abundant Results. Yes. So, and you will see her tweets are shared with at All Charity Radio. If you could just follow her, because she's going to be mentioning, she's going to be giving tips over the next while on business and personal development, as well as the courses that you're doing. So be good to follow Eva about that. Now we'll talk about money and the psychology of money, and why people can't earn what they really want to earn, and why they can't hold on to it. You've done a little research on this, Ava.
A little, yes. Well, I've been studying success and earning money for quite a long time now. Especially last 2 years, it's been quite intense. So mostly, what I've noticed is, what I've learned and I've noticed as well from my own experience, people, if they want to make more money, they focus on taking a lot more actions, and a lot of the business owners, they get to working hard. The problem with that is you don't really make more money doing that. Maybe you go up by 1%, 2%, but you don't really expand. And this is because not many people know what the root of making money is. And this is our mind. And specifically, it's the programming of our mind. So you were just mentioning a little bit earlier, it's our beliefs about money. It's our beliefs and it's our habitual behavior around money.
Yeah, because we grow up hearing things about money which is not great.
Exactly.
Money, root of all evil, and money doesn't grow on trees, which means you have to work hard, really hard for your money.
I'll give you an example. Actually, one of my clients at the beginning, when I started working with her, she came from a family that they never had their own business. They were working for somebody, and she constantly heard that it's not safe to have her own business. So she used to work for a big corporation, and she was making very good income. And then once she left, she set up 3 businesses, breaking even. She was not making any cash with this, and pretty much that was down to the beliefs about money, because all the beliefs that money is the root of all evil. In Poland, for instance, there is a lot of beliefs around corruption. And you have to cheat, you have to lie. If you're a rich person, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
So subconsciously, we're actually, through our mind, we're blocking the income. So let's say when you were growing up, most of our mind is programmed up to the age of 5 and 6. When you observe your parents struggling with money and speaking about money in limiting terms, right? So then you absorb this, and then maybe you're 30 and you want to make good income with your business, and through your mind, subconsciously, you're stopping yourself. You may not even be aware of this, and then you're trying to push harder and break through that wall, and then you're coming up against that wall. But to be honest, working with the mind is actually quite simple. It's so this is the bit that is missed by so many people. It does not require that hard pushing against the wall. It's simple tweaks to your mindset, changing one belief, like, money comes to me through multiple sources on continuous basis in increasing quantities, right? Or money comes to me easily and naturally, and actually implementing that in your mind, you actually see this happening. I could give thousands of examples, but seriously, you can actually implement that money comes to you in your sleep. And then what happens when you implement that into your mind, you turn your antenna on, which is like you start paying attention. And people and books and opportunities start coming to you. But before, when you believe that it's hard to make money, they can't come to you, because what you focus on, you're looking for the proof outside of yourself.
And people think to get money they have to exchange time for money.
Yeah.
So it's always the more time I put in, the more money, but then I've nothing left.
Yeah.
But it's not always the case.
That's a huge pitfall. I'm actually going to talk a little bit more about it later on, that the key to make more money in your business is not to spend more money on there are 3 things that we need to have time in our business on. We need to have time to work in the business, which is doing the business activities. We need to have time to work on the business, which is strategy. And then we need to have time to work on ourselves. And the working on yourselves is 2 things. It's changing your mindset. That is the root of your results in all areas of your life, and especially business. And then relaxation. Because here's the thing, it's creative ideas that you can make more money, not expending your time. You get them when you're relaxed. You don't get them when you're in a rush and when you're doing lots of things. So I've worked with lots of business owners, and one example that comes to my mind is a lovely lady. She's a hairdresser. When she came to me, she was working 7 days a week. She was totally exhausted, and she was breaking even.
Right.
And technically, the key was not to work harder. That was natural pattern, right? Most people think that they need to work harder. she didn't have that much time to take out of her business and to change her thinking, but she found half an hour a day. And sometimes that half an hour a day that you spend changing the way you think and finding creative ideas, because once you start changing the way you think, you tap into different ideas. So she's come up with 2 big ideas that made her more money, not involving more of her time. And not to mention that she started looking at her employees, motivating them, and setting challenges for them. So obviously they started making more money for her. So all that stuff, now she's working 5 days a week and earning money
more,
right?
Yeah.
So this is a paradox. Most people think that they need to work hard. No, we need to change the cause of making money. And I promise you, sometimes when you learn how simple it is mind-blowing. So this is what I would love to share with you tonight.
And just briefly, other people, when they earn money, they just keep spending it. That's another problem.
Yes.
As if they can't hold on to it. They feel they need to let go of it.
Yeah. So this is this is a habit. So our mind is programmed in terms of beliefs and habits, habitual behavior around money, and every single most successful person in the world will tell you, put aside 10% of your income. Put it aside, put it into your savings account until you're ready to invest. If you do this every single month, it doesn't matter how much you make. And, maybe you cannot put aside 10% straight away. Put aside 5%. Whatever you can, start putting it on the side regularly. Because now, again, until we change our beliefs about money, we don't take the actions. We can go to all sorts of gurus, but if we don't have the right mindset, we still will not take those actions. So this is as the so-called knowing doing gap. Us knowing how to make more money, not doing the steps.
So you're going to show about the mindset at one of your seminars.
Yes.
And when is the first seminar?
So I have 2 seminars in terms of setting and achieving goals. One of them is coming up on Saturday, 16th of January. That's in Academy Plaza Hotel in Dublin 1. And then another one is on the 30th of January in Cork. So the details can be found either on the Twitter. I will tweet it later on at Abundant Results, or else on my Facebook page, which is Abundant Results Coaching. All the details are there.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to get into the top 10 tips for bringing more money into your life. Got Eva Pietschak. I'm always apprehensive when I say the surname, but Eva was talking about money, and actually she forgot to mention that she's doing a free webinar this month, a regular webinar, is it?
So this is actually a webinar course. So in terms of my event in Dublin is free. The one in Cork is €10 for a charity called Africa Aware, where we sponsor children in Africa to get educated. But what I'm doing specifically on money is a webinar course. It's a 3-month course, which I'm starting on Thursday, 21st of January. It will be evening time. It will be 8:30 every Thursday evening. And we will go further into the principles of how to start attracting money, how to change our mindset to start attracting money. Now, this course is based on the basis of a book by Bob Proctor called You Were Born Rich, and it actually explains the principles of using our mindset, attracting the right stuff, so tweaking our mind so that we get what we want versus what we don't want. And how do
you log on to that webinar?
How you can? So this webinar, actually, this is a paid course, but it's a nominal charge. To be honest, it's very inexpensive in order to start making more money. And you can find details on my Facebook page, Abundant Results Coaching, and I will also tweet it later on as well once I get off radio.
Sure. And just mention your Twitter handle again.
Yes, so it's at Abundant Results.
At Abundant Results.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, Eva, let's get into the money thing then, and the top 10 tips for attracting more money. So what's your number 1 tip, your first tip?
Sure. So it actually took me a little bit of thinking in terms of, because I can talk about this for hours, but the biggest thing, what I would say is to set a goal, set a financial goal. Now, it's very important. There's so many people speaking about the goals, but it has to be a goal that inspires you. It has to be something, not what you think you can make, but what you really want. despite all the objections that you have in your mind that, well, how am I going to do this? You've got to create a vision of what you actually want to earn. And a lot of people are not really motivated by the money itself.
Yeah.
You've got to be, so actually in You Were Born Rich course, I go into this a little bit further, but you look at all areas of your life. So let's say a house. What sort of a house do I want to live in? How much does that cost per month? How many times per week do I want to go to a restaurant? How much does that cost? Where do I want to travel? What do I want to spend for my family or on myself? So all of that stuff, we actually look at different types of expenses, and we tot it up in terms of what is it actually that how do I want to live, so that it actually excites me. Not what I think I can have, but what I really want. And you've got to set that goal in a simple format. So you can take a piece of paper and just write a goal in present tense. You can say, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm earning, 100,000 euros, 200,000 euros. Or you can say, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm earning 10,000 euros a month.
You think it's important to give that figure,
yes,
or is it more important to give a vision of what you want to do with that money?
So this is actually a great question. It's very important to be very specific what you want. So I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm earning 10,000 euros a month. But when you close your eyes, you've got to visualize what that means for you to earn that money. So money is, now people don't know also what money is. Money is just energy of exchange. You provide a service or product and you get money back for it. Money is just paper. Money has no inherent meaning other than, you're exchanging your services and products for that paper, which is money. If we were living in the bushes, we would be exchanging skin and, meat, right? But we live in a civilized world, so we exchange money. But basically, the reason what I'm saying is, so you write out a simple goal. The simple, the better. One sentence or two sentences. I'm so happy and grateful in present tense now that I'm making 10,000 euros a month and I feel delighted or I feel peaceful. Include that feeling, because feeling emotions with that goal are very important. Goals that are dry and have no emotions behind it are, superficial. Why I'm talking about building the picture of how you want to live and what you want to do with that money behind it is because you need that emotional engagement. So money as paper or amount in your bank account is not going to motivate you, but how you're going to live, what you can do for your family, how do you want to spend your time. You can travel, you can do all sorts of things that you really love. You can take time away from your business to create another business, for instance, whatever you really want, right? But you've got to have that emotional connection behind the money. Having a goal and not being able to see what it's going to look like, it's not going to happen.
Okay, great. I think got the message on that one. Okay, tip number two. Tip number two. Yes. So the second tip is actually, okay, we have a goal and we don't know how we're going to get it. This is actually brilliant because you don't need to know how to get that money. And I'll give you an example of one of my clients. He came to one of my live events, actually my last live event, and he said, I want to turn my annual income into monthly income. For many people, this is a very bold statement, right? But he's done some of personal development before, so his mind was already stretched. He knew how to work with it. So he didn't know how to do it, but he said on his goal card, he said, I'm so happy and grateful now that I've turned my annual income into monthly income, and now I'm making 25,000 a month. And he kept saying this to himself. He kept saying it. And initially I thought he could do it with network marketing, because I knew that with network marketing you can make that kind of money. So I brought him to certain places where he can explore what network marketing could be good for him. His intuition said no. 2 weeks after this, when he was implementing that goal and visualizing himself living the life that he wants, he came back to me with a plan. So he literally found out how he's going to make it. And this is pretty much through a business that is connected to what he does, passive housing, but a business that requires him to sell stuff, right? And that would allow him to earn several grand just by one sale. So technically he figured it out just by impressing that goal onto his mind. So you don't say the how until you have the why first.
You need to know the what. Yes, so the what and the why. So the what, which is it can be very bold, but you have to be like really, really wanting it, right? So the one thing I forgot to say with the goal, you have to be like, I'm going to have it. Not like, yeah, maybe one day. No, this is going to be my reality. It's very important for me, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. When you're at that point, that is actually your goal, not just wishful thinking. When you make that decision, that's your goal. So the second step is actually, so when you have your goal, the second step is to implement it. How do you implement it into your mind? How do you make yourself believe that this is going to be your reality? So see, this is actually what you can do through a concept called autosuggestion. And Napoleon Hill talks about it in Think and Grow Rich quite a lot, chapter 4. It's all chapter on autosuggestion. Napoleon Hill himself, he was asked by Andrew Carnegie to implement an idea into his head that Andrew Carnegie, I'm going to exceed your life achievements. And and Napoleon Hill was actually quite poor when he was doing it, and Andrew Carnegie was the wealthiest man in the world. And he kept saying this into the mirror. He kept saying this, and 2 weeks after he started believing it. A month after he started getting a plan. So this is what I wanted to say. The second step is autosuggestion. There are many different types of autosuggestion, but the key is repetition. You've got to keep repeating the goal. So write it on a goal card, put it in a place where you can see it. You can even do visual representation of that goal, so the so-called vision board. But put a goal somewhere where you see it. It could be in your purse. It could be in wherever.
And where did Bob Proctor have his one?
He has it in his pocket.
Back pocket, little card,
pocket.
Isn't it?
Yeah. He carries it with him all the time. Now, for women, it might be a little bit more tricky. So, you can put it into your tights, but to be honest, that's not really working most of the time, especially when you have business meetings. But yeah, so start impressing it onto your subconscious mind. You've got to talk yourself literally into having it, and you do that through several different ways of autosuggestion. So I'll just mention a few because technically I could talk about it for hours, and I do it through my courses and events, but reading the goal out loud, hearing yourself reading it, visualizing yourself having it in your life. You close your eyes and you see yourself living in that beautiful home that you want. You see yourself putting your kids through college. You see yourself going to that restaurant several times a week, or working by the beach and seeing multiple, you open your laptop and you see money flowing to you when you sleep. That's called multiple sources of income, passive income. Yeah. You can record the affirmation on your iPhone or on your MP3 player and just keep playing it. So record 10-minute recording. Constant spaced repetition is one big element of autosuggestion. There are two ways of doing autosuggestion. You can do it by high emotional impact, which is like most of the time it's traumatic events. It's not really nice. Like 9/11 would be considered high emotional impact. It's something that causes you to change suddenly, right? Yeah. So someone dies in your family or something like that. You go through fire and you survive. You change your life upside down. But this doesn't happen too often, and to be honest, it's mostly not a nice thing to happen. Constant spaced repetition is another well-known way of autosuggestion. This is the one that I teach people to do. Read the same thing, listen to the same thing, visualize the same thing. The one fun activity that I really love is mirror work. Mirror work is pretty much you get that goal and you go in front of the mirror, and this is very quick as well, which is very important for business owners. You go and you say that into your one eye and then into another. You say it 3 times. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm earning money through multiple sources. I'm earning 10,000 euros a month and I feel so happy. And then you also need to emotionalize it a little bit. So you can use your body to emotionalize it. So I went to one networking event when they told us, what would your body do if you won €1 million? So some people lift their arms. Some people do some people just shake their hands and, or jump around and just go crazy. And this is what I love. I mean, entrepreneurs don't have too much fun most of the time. They get too serious. And I tell you this, when you can actually program your mind with with a lot of fun activities, and mirror work is so much fun. And I tell you this, I've been doing this. I started doing my live events at the beginning of 2015. I've had 70 up to 100 people in each of my live events, right? I was doing it through mirror work. So mirror work is a fun activity. You jump around, go crazy, have fun, go silly, and you say it 3 times into one eye. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me easily and naturally, or I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm earning 10,000 euros a month. And then you're going to receive ideas. So that's step 3. So autosuggestion.
Great. So we're here talking about money with Eva Pietrzak, and she is going through her top 10 tips for keeping the money and earning more money. And we're on tip number 3, isn't that right? Mm-hmm. Eva, so we'll go through that.
Yes, so the tip number 3, so when you set your goal, when you set your goal, and then you started implementing it, so you started doing any sort of autosuggestion. And look, there's so many different tips on autosuggestion. I just told you about a fun way, mirror work. So you do that every day, every time you go in front of the mirror, and you start receiving ideas. So the third point for me is to open your mind to ideas, new ideas. Most of the time, you're not going to make more money by doing the same thing. It's not going to happen like this. So an idea will start coming to you. And so there are several sources of those ideas. Sometimes the idea can come through your intuition. So I will be talking a little bit further about how to sharpen your intuition later on. We've got to remember that 2% of the people in the world make 98% of money in the world. That means that most people either just plainly get by or struggle financially. So technically, if you listen to people around you that are not making huge amount of money, you're not going to make huge amount of money yourself. You've got to be tapping into something else. So when you start implementing that idea of making that 10,000, it could be 20,000, whatever that is for you, listen to your gut feeling. You will start receiving ideas. It could be through a book that you see, a person that you see. You will start receiving information, and you've got to pay attention. It could be that, you can set up, someone tells you about the business idea, and you have that inner gut feeling. That's going to make me money. And it's a little bit scary, but it's going to make you money. You've got to follow that, even though everybody around you tells you not to. When you have that gut feeling, it's you remember that you've been implementing this idea into your head. You get the guidance, not people around you. So you've got to follow that. You can get those ideas through books, through other people. People can start talking ideas. You've got to pay attention, and you will, because you've been implementing that idea. That means you're already paying attention to how to do it. Your subconscious is like a machine. Whatever you implant in there, it has to give you the most practical plans to make it happen. It's like crossing the street. You don't think about crossing the street. You plant the idea, you tell your mind to do it, you're doing it. It's the same with goals. Most of the time that idea will be different to what you've been doing, because if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get the same amount of income. Promise. If you keep working harder, you're going to get the same amount of income, maybe 1% more. Most of the time, those ideas don't require you to work harder, but they might require going outside of your comfort zone.
Okay.
So that's tip number 3.
Right, we time is not on our side, so we quickly go to tip 4.
Very briefly. Okay, tip number 4 is change your beliefs around money. Change your beliefs and habitual behavior around money. So we were speaking about it a little bit earlier about putting aside 10% of your income. Not many people do that. Most people are programmed to spend too much money. You've got to have a look at what you're programmed to do, right? What are your habitual behaviors, and what are your beliefs around money? So this is where you can look at your results. If your results are not satisfying, that means you have limiting beliefs about money, because your results are direct reflection of what's in your mind. And if you need assistance, find a person. Actually, it's a lot easier to find a person that knows how to change those beliefs, how to discover them. So could be a coach. I personally do that a lot with people, and it's really, really, it's just time saving.
Do you think a lot of it's down to attitude towards money?
Yes.
From what you've learned, what you grew up with.
Yes, this is deep beliefs in your mind, how you approach money, that will stop you from attracting it. And when you take that away, when you change them into what you want, money starts flowing, because money is everywhere. Look at Henry Street, Grafton Street. People have lots of money. You just have to find meaningful service and product that people want. You need to know how to work with money, understand what money is, and how to develop your mind towards money.
I'm always amazed that people spend thousands for Christmas shopping.
Yes.
And then a few days later, they spend thousands in the sales. I don't know, it all comes together. It's amazing.
Yes, yeah. Well, psychology, and this is, again, we get a lot of subconscious signals from all the adverts. You know, whatever, we watch TV, we're getting programmed. We're getting programmed through everything, billboards, everything, right? It's just the messages of tapping into what we want, not necessarily we need. But, yeah, that's the impact.
Spending to try and keep us happy.
We're programmed.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's tip number 4. I'm just going through them here. How to discover these yourself and get a qualified person like yourself. You'll be going through with the webinar, which will be mentioned on your Twitter handle and on Facebook as well. There'll be a good course and webinar on money and how to achieve it over the next few weeks. Okay, tip number 5.
Tip number 5 is to develop practical plans. Because here's the thing. Yes, we have a goal, but we will not achieve it until we move our bum off our seats.
You can think all you like, but you have to.
Yeah, it's like I always tell my clients, you know, it's like sitting in front of the fridge praying for the food to come out. It doesn't happen. You have to make it. It's the same with money. So you need to start developing practical plans. Now, again, you're not going to get more money by doing what you've been doing. Because if you keep doing more of what you've been doing, you're going to get more of the same. Maybe 1 to 5% more. But if you're serious about making a lot more money, you've got to come up with a different plan. And so there are several ways how you can do this. You can start masterminding. Some of you may know about the concept of masterminding. Mastermind is a group of people. It's 2 up to 10 people, like-minded, forward-looking, progressive people that are generating ideas with each other. People that have maybe slightly different experience. It could be 10 different business owners, and they brainstorm, how can I make more money with my business? And so you get the value of those 10 people. It's like your thinking expands. Most successful people that have made huge income, they didn't do it themselves. They had people around themselves that they generated ideas with. You have to start taking actions with what you've got. So even though you know you're implementing that new goal, you've got to start moving towards it. You know straight away what to do. You know a little bit, so just move towards it. And in my opinion, the quickest way, again, I mean, get a mentor, get a coach, get someone that knows how to help you. See, most successful people, actually Les Brown was speaking about spending 140,000 per month on coaching and mentorship. And it's not because we can't do it ourselves. Most of the time, well, okay, very rarely we can, but it's hard. It's long. If you have someone out there that can help you tweak your mind with simple ways, help you move forward, I mean, you know, do it.
And make sure you're involved with people that are positive as well. You don't want people that are negative around that'll bring you down.
Hugely important. You need to have people around you that believe in you. If you don't have them around you, find them. You five people around you, the closest people around you, they will be impacting you the most, and they will be making pretty much similar income that you're making. If you want to bring your income to another level, you've got to start hanging around people.
5 people that are higher, 4 others that have higher income.
Or at least are moving towards it very quickly. People that will help you brainstorm. It's like you sit around with 10 people in one room, and the idea is we're not getting out of here until we come up with the idea how to make 10 grand in a month. And you will. This is how Henry Ford got his V8 engine. He paid people for 1 year. He said, you guys have to make it. And they're like, no, it's impossible. You will make it because I pay you. And so they did.
So Ava, if you want to briefly go, because
sure, yes, one sentence. So the tip number 1 I said was to literally decide how much do you desire to earn. So write a goal, very clear, simple, one statement. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm earning 10,000 euros a month or more. Second, implement the goal into your mind. So convince yourself that it's going to happen. It's your reality. So you do that through auto-suggestion. Different types of auto-suggestion. I mentioned mirror work, which is fun, and I really love it. Number 3, open your mind to new ideas. So you will not get you will not increase your income by doing more of the same. You will increase maybe 1%, but you will not make a quantum leap. So you've got to open your intuition, open to books, other people, and all that external other ideas outside of the box. Then you have to, number 4, you have to change your beliefs. You have to change your money blueprint, which is your beliefs and habits around money. And the easiest way to do this is to get someone, a coach, someone that knows how to do it quickly with you so that you can start generating more income. And then tip 5, develop practical plans. You can develop those plans by getting together with masterminding other people that are like-minded, positive, forward-looking, or hiring a mentor or a coach, again, to mastermind with someone that knows, someone that is making money, someone that knows how to multiply it, to develop those plans.
Back to the top 10 tips on how to increase your income. Number 6 is about studying. Eva.
Yes. So I read an article yesterday. You've got to study the right material. You've got to immerse yourself in the right information. If you want to make more money, you've got to study money. You've got to study success and money. This is not taught at school, and most wealthiest people in the world, they are not educated in a traditional way. They're self-educated. So what you study is what you get. So if you want more money, you've got to immerse yourself in studying the right books. So actually, the wealthiest men in the world, like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, they actually have holidays reading. They read books.
On holidays,
yeah. They read books. This is their favorite pastime. And really, like, the secret is kept in the books, but the right books, right? So the 3 books that I would like to recommend very quickly is classics, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, Wallace Wattles' The Science of Getting Rich, and Bob Proctor's You Were Born Rich, which is the material for the webinars that I will be doing this month. And
you'll have a book, I'm sure, in a year or 2.
Of course. Well, I probably will, yeah. Yeah, I would imagine so, yeah. I'm not even, yeah.
That's your goal,
It's happening, yeah. So definitely immerse yourself in the right material, forward-looking material. I mean, lots of people spend lots of time watching TV, watching things that are not bringing you forward. If you want to make more money, you've got to get educated how to make more money. You're not going to get that at school. Mm-hmm. So go study the books, go to some seminars, hire a coach, get your mindset on another level so that you actually can become wealthy, and everybody can. Mm-hmm. I truly believe that.
Great. Okay, and we're on to number 7 now. Listen to your gut.
Yes. This is a brilliant one. Yeah. So again, I've mentioned this before. 2% of people in the world make 98% of money in the world. That means it's very likely that people around you, you've got to start listening to your gut feeling when you're implementing that goal of having what you want. And in our case right now, it's the financial income that we desire, and it really excites us to live that income. By implementing this goal into your mind, you will start receiving ideas, and you've got to develop your intuition, because nobody around you will know how you can get this. Well, some people will, but those are people like mentors or coaches, people that are doing it already and can explain it. But people that are closest to you may not know how you're going to get it, but you will get that internal guidance. Again, like I mentioned earlier, you hear an idea. I know I will get my 10 grand by doing this. People around you may tell you, no, it's not going to happen, but you know deep down that you're going to do it.
So if you've got a good feeling about something,
yes,
then you're probably right.
Yes. And so it's very important to develop your intuition. And so you do that through actually getting quiet. So meditation, mindfulness, anything that relaxes you, this is where you get in touch with your intuition, and this is where all ideas flow to you. Sometimes it might happen in a lift. But it's most of the time, it's not when you're preoccupied with doing lots of things. It's when you're a little bit relaxed. Yeah, so really relaxation and meditation. I tell you, like even 5 minutes a day, looking at a candle. This is sharpening your focus and also sharpening your intuition, because quietens down your mind.
Okay.
Just stare in one spot. You will become so focused that, holding that goal in your vision, no problem.
So you believe everyone should have a relaxing half an hour a day
I don't think half an hour is necessary. I think even 10 minutes.
Okay.
But you've got to break away from all the noise and get in touch with yourself. Because it's you that will get the gut feeling about where you need to go. And, you know, sometimes you may meet an external person that can help you, and you get a good gut feeling, that person can actually help me.
And number 8 is similar to what we're just talking about,
Yeah.
to take time out from your business.
Yes, but this one actually, and this is contrary to what most people believe. Most people believe that in order to make money, we need to work harder. And I think I mentioned an earlier example of one of my clients, a hairdresser that used to work 7 days a week. I promise you, if she worked even harder, she would just get exhausted.
Her health would give up.
I mean, it was already deteriorating. And obviously, when you're doing more work in the business, you cannot strategize about the business. You cannot look at your employees. You cannot look at who needs to be motivated, who needs to be, encouraged, who needs to be challenged. You cannot look at new sources of income for your business, which may not require more time, but will give you more money. You need to take time out. And this time, again, it doesn't have to be a lot. Half an hour a day of studying yourself and changing your mindset, and even half an hour a day of doing something where you, get fit, exercise or relax or go to the park. You've got to devote that time to yourself. You need to do things that feel good, because this is where you get ideas. That's what makes you keep going. I mean, it's not about getting rich by working hard, because you will probably die by the age of 60. So we need to be happy and wealthy.
Okay. We've gone through top 10 tips to attract more money with Eva Pietrzak, and we are on number 9. So let's get straight to it, because the time is pushing.
So number 9 is we need to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Because a lot of the ideas that will get us to make a quantum leap in our finances, they will require a little bit of being outside of comfort zone. Because again, if we keep doing what we've been doing, we will move forward 1%, 5%, but not 25 or 50 or 150%. Most of the time the idea, so let's say, I'll give you my own example, right? If I want to expand my services, I used to be terrified of speaking in public. And now I've done 4 live events from 70 up to 100 people. That's because I want to reach more people. Those things were terrifying and exciting at the same time. So if you have an idea, and you get that again connecting to your intuition, you have an idea that will get you excited, is exciting, and you're afraid of it. At the same time, that means growth. That means this is where you need to go. Another example of being comfortable, getting comfortable doing uncomfortable things is there is an amazing article by Albert Gray, Common Denominator of Success, which says successful people do what other people don't like doing, and they make a habit out of it. That doesn't mean you like what you do. You may not like sales, but I actually met a very good sales coach last week. He said 60% of your time should be spent on sales.
Barry?
Yeah. He said that, if you're not generating income, you're going to get out of business. You need to get more sales. You might not like it, but you can make it a habit. And if you make it a habit, it's like brushing teeth. And you get better at it.
Okay.
So, Common Denominator of Success, brilliant article. If anybody's interested, let me know and I can send it on. So that's number 9.
Okay, we're on the final
tip. Yes. And final tip, some of you may be aware of universal laws or laws of nature. We have law of gravity. Nobody can touch it, smell it, but we know it's there. And some of you know about law of attraction. One of universal laws is called law of compensation. Law of compensation says that the amount of money you earn, is in direct relationship with 3 things: the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the ease in replacing you. So if you think about it, the need for what you do, most of you probably have a business that there is a need for, unless you sell ice cream, I don't know, in a very cold country.
Alaska,
Yeah, Alaska, yeah. And so the need is there. The ease in replacing you with a better model is very directly correlated with the second one, your ability to do it. So if you continuously develop at how good you are at what you do, you will be making more money. So that's law of compensation, which is my final tip. Tip number 10 And I suppose to wrap up in one sentence, the biggest thing for me, is to really understand who you are and your potential. Really understand that you, inside of you have tools that you can tap into to seriously multiply your income. And that's through study. Again, study or get help from someone that knows how to do it, and it's going to be a lot quicker. And it's not traditional education.
Through the right books and the right people courses and...
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to, if you want to say it now, I suppose, just go through your events that are happening over the next few weeks.
Sure, brilliant, thank you. So I actually hold live events which are free of charge. Lately, we've introduced a nominal charge to contribute to charities. And I hold them every 6 weeks. So actually, I have 2 events coming up this month. One is in Academy Plaza Hotel on the 16th of January, which is Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m. And this is setting and achieving worthy goals.
Where's that hotel?
That's Dublin one, right beside O'Connell Street.
Oh, okay.
Very central. And then the second one, same topic, is going to be in Cork at the end of the month, Saturday 30th. And this is going to be 6 to 8 p.m. as well. The hotel, forgive me, I actually just found out today what the name of the hotel is, but when you go on my Abundant Results Coaching Facebook page, or I will tweet it later. And I also start a webinar course, a 3-month course on how to start tapping into your potential and actually earn more income. There will be practical tips in terms of, putting aside 10%, how you actually start making more money. And this is starting on Thursday, 21st of January, 8:30 p.m. It's going to be every week, 1-hour webinar. And you find all the details at my Facebook page, Abundant Results Coaching, or I will tweet it later at Abundant Results.
Great.
And thank you very much.
Thank you for coming on. There's a lot of information there. I hope you'll be listening to that. We hope to rebroadcast it at some stage. We'll let you know about that. But in the meantime, we'll play a little bit more music, and then we'll go back to our final look on what's happening on the Twitter machine. But do follow Ava on her Twitter handle, which is at Abundant Results.
We had a question in, very, very important question. Claude from OneSoft. Life is not just about money, and that's a really good point. How about happiness? Life is not just about money. How about happiness? So what would you say, Eva, to Claude?
Sure. So thank you so much for this question, Claude. This is a huge one because a lot of people confuse that making money is making, money and happiness are two different things. Actually, I will maybe quote, because I could. This is a topic for another audition. To be honest, I could talk about it for several hours, but there is a way to be happy and earn money, and I will maybe quote in You Were Born Rich. Bob Proctor writes that there is difference between people that use money and love people. So there's difference between loving money and using people, or using money and loving people.
Okay.
And there's been a lot of wealthy people out there that have been going the other way, which is a little bit against our spiritual nature and against universal laws, and it is by using people and loving money. And, there is a thing called karma that always gets back at you, and it is not going to make you happy if you're going to get rid of everybody around you. That doesn't work, right? But it is a subject on its own, and there are ways to be happy and earn a lot of income. And again, most people think that they need to work harder. What working harder means, you don't spend time with your family, you don't relax, you don't take care of your body, you're just getting exhausted. When you learn how to tweak your mindset, because technically abundance is everywhere. When you go to the park, you see grass is everywhere. You see lots of animals, you see water, you see everything. There's tons of everything around us. When you go to Henry Street, Grafton Street, you see people running around and buying stuff. There is abundance everywhere. You just need to figure out how to tap into it. That doesn't mean you need to work hard. The key, I believe, is to create a lifestyle that you love, that expresses you, not to work 24/7. Not at all. So you can have both. And it's also, again, do you love money and use people, or do you love people and use money? There are two reasons why we make money. One, to live a comfortable life. And this is the lifestyle that you desire. Pay your children through college. There's so many people out there that cannot do this, and they suffer. And then the second reason is to expand the good that you can do to the world. So you have services that can serve people globally. If you don't know how to tap into abundance, you cannot provide it to everybody. So I think there's great misconception around, money and happiness. I think this can be combined, provided that we understand what money is and how to use it.
That's very good. And Claude, I hope because that was a really good question. It is something that people are obsessed with. And actually, I think I was listening to the radio today, and happiness seems to be the only emotion that we're concentrating on when there's so many other emotions. But the main thing there that you're saying is to use money to love people rather than to use people and to get money. So because money won't hug you back. It will buy you a nice blanket, but it won't hug you. All right, so we've got lots and lots of great music still to play, and just fantastic tips as well. I don't know how we're going to get all those tips out, because we've nearly run out of time. But a very good way is to go to Eva's Facebook page, which is facebook.com/abundantresults. And also you've got your Twitter handle is @abundantresults. So many thanks, Eva Piacek, our success coach, and also probably our best and first success coach of 2016. So certainly you've set the bar very, very high, and some fantastic, really, really good tips there.